guys a little bit about what my channel does and a bit about my business, as well as a little information about myself. Okay. So, firstly, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whatever time y'all may be watching this. And that being said, I'll talk a little bit about what my business does. Okay. So, Maricuma Healing is a business that I opened up last year. I've been wanting to have my own little business about, spirituality and healing our mind, body, and soul, as well as embracing ourselves, loving ourselves for who we are, and not trying to pretend to be something that we're not. We live in a really plastic and fake world. And I feel like it's kind of split up into one third. It's like one third of people are so tired of trying to be something that they're not, that they're just embracing who they are, period. Whether you like it or not, this is me. Okay. And the other third of people are pretending to be something that they're not because they want to fit in to society, or they want to fit into the world that they're living in. And the other ones are kind of just in between. They're like, I understand that I want to fit in, but at the same time, I mean, I'm just kind of neutral. Like, I'm not going to step on this side and I'm not going to step on that side, because both sides I don't really fully agree on. If you could combine the ideas, then yeah, maybe, but I just don't care. It is what it is. We can't change ourselves to fit into what we want to be, because we live in a world that is destined for, certain stuff. So why fight the system if the system can't be fought? Those are the other thirds. So I know that I'm kind of rambling, but I'm just saying, why do we have to pretend to be something that we're not? Okay. I've spent a long time learning to love myself, and I spent a lot of time trying to heal. And I think through that journey, I want others to feel the same way. I want people to look at themselves in the mirror and understand that you're worthy of being loved, that you are not your past. Okay. Yes, we all have done things that we're not proud of. Yes, we are not perfect individuals. I am not Mother Teresa, and I'm not, a saint. Of course, I'm a sinner. I've done a lot of things I'm not proud of, but I don't think my mistakes and my past defines me. And I want other people to believe that too. I want you guys to have confidence in yourself that you're able to do so much things despite what people tell you, despite your disability being mental or physical or emotional, you know. And if we learn how to love ourselves, we learn how to embrace our uniqueness, and we learn how to be kind, not only to ourselves but to others, we can make a world a better place. Now, that being said, I talk a lot about trauma. I talk a lot about past. I talk a lot about, spirituality, how to make protection salt, how to meditate and ground yourself, how to do days of correspondence and basic things that I've been teaching myself since I'm a self-taught witch. You know what I mean? And I think the proper term would be like a solitary one, a one that kind of does their practice by themselves, because I don't have a coven and things of that nature. I just haven't found like the one that would fit for me. Anyways, when we come and talk more about our spiritual, right, our witchcraft and magic and things of that nature, I go into a lot of emphasis on like your basics, because before you go after the biggest and the baddest you can get your hands on, you need to learn how to do your basics. You need to learn how to build your foundation and then work on that. Okay. So we're going to talk about clear senses. We're going to talk about money magic. We're going to talk a little bit about love and how we can do self-love things, right? We're going to talk about the medicinal purposes of herbs and much more, as well as I do card readings. Now, there are a lot of people who read tarot, who read oracle, and people like myself who read playing cards, okay? So, same way that you would go to get your cards read with tarot or oracle decks, I do it with playing cards. I shuffle my cards, I let it fall down, and depending on how it's set up, I can read what it is for you, okay? I offer that. That's what my business does. I also do palm readings. That means I read the lines in your hands and how your palm looks to tell me about your present, future, and past, your personality, and much more. I also offer counseling. You know what I mean? So when it comes to counseling, I am not a certified counselor. I will not tell you guys that I am, but I have counseled people through my business. And by the grace of the gods and goddesses and all that is divine, my business has been running on for about like a year and some months. You know what I mean? So I'm really happy. It's still new, but I have counseled and advised quite a few people. Now, when it comes to the counseling sessions, it is for an hour. You guys can have it for 30 minutes if you want, but the longest I'll do for one session is an hour. You pick the time and the date. We work on the time, you pick on the date, and we kind of get it done. If you're looking for like a weekly counseling session, right, it's $6. If you want to have it for a month, it's $20. You tell me that maybe you want it every Monday or every Tuesday, or tell me the dates each week on how you'd like it for the month, and I'll write you down, set you up, and we'll go and do it. Whatever we say in the counseling session is between you and I, so long as you're not hurting yourself, so long as you're not hurting others, okay? I do have some experience helping people get into a better place. One of our disabilities that we will go tremendously on is a lot on with glaucoma, which is an eye disease. I suffer with it. I have 4th stage of secondary glaucoma. So that means that my eyesight's not completely gone, but is severely damaged. And I've had it for like 25, 26 years, and I'm 29 now. So needless to say, I've had it since I was a kid, and I've learned how to work with it. Hopefully, if you guys are having like, eye problems or any physical, emotional, or mental disabilities, these videos may help you guys feel a little bit better. A lot of times when we have our physical disabilities, right, I don't think people understand, like, if you don't have them, you can't understand how hard it is. Because having a mental disability is kind of like being Charles Xavier, okay? Having disabilities is like being a mutant, because some disabilities people can see. People can tell that, hey, this person is disabled in this way. But when it comes to your mind, it's like having scars on the inside that people can't see. It's so easy to hide. Because, like, I have depression, I have anxiety, okay? Due to my eyes being the way that they are, it causes me tremendous stress. And it has taken me a long ass time, man, to be able to get comfortable and be like, okay, just because I have this disability does not mean that I can't do things that I want. Like, there are a lot of people with emotional, mental, and physical disabilities that are out here having their own companies, having marriages that are lasting long, going over there, traveling the world, meeting new people, making connections, living their life despite the fact that they have these disabilities, okay? When you have mental disabilities, people don't understand how stressful it is. It's like you're drowning, okay? When you have depression and anxiety, depression is more than just being sad. I am not just sad. I am tired. I am lost. I am confused. I am emotionally overwhelmed. I don't know what the freak I'm supposed to be doing. I am trying to do my very best. And no matter how hard I try, I always feel like I'm getting pushed 5 steps back. And it's just frustrating. You know what I mean? Like, how much of this can I take? And some days are really good. Some days my anxiety is under control, my depression is at bay, things are going my way. I feel like $1,000,000 and it's wonderful. And then the next day it just comes crashing down. And then the next day it kind of comes back up again. And then the few of the days it's just kind of flatline where I'm teetering between losing my shit and having it all, and then just kind of like, okay, people can only take so much, guys. That's all I have to say. Like, we can only take so much before we really crash out and fall. But these are things that you can't see physically. It's all in your mind. And it affects your mind, it affects your heart. If it affects your mind and heart, it affects your body. And if all three of these are not working right, then it goes over there and damages you spiritually. Because spiritually, you run on your body, you run on how you feel, you run on how you think. So if my mind is not agreeing with my heart's fighting against my mind, it takes in a bit of stress with my body. My body's storing up all this tension in different places, which is causing a lot more damage than good, right? I know, again, we're blabbing, but these are things that I talk about, okay? And it affects you. It's all connected. I'm a big believer of duality and mutability, man. Because to think that we only live in a certain type of world where only certain type of things happen, I think is a bit ridiculous. We live in a multidimensional, infinite universe that is constantly expanding. And at the same time, also not expanding. Like, I believe that as much things are being created, there's just as much things that are, meeting the end of its life and it's being, reborn or destroyed or sent somewhere else, or just like it's a constant cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. You know what I mean? Yes, there's other cycles, but those are the three that I kind of believe in, because we live in a constant evolution. Everything is constantly changing. And until you learn how to adapt, you kind of get stuck behind. What does this have to do with our emotional, mental, and physical disabilities? It's kind of like that. You're constantly going through evolution. You are shedding your old self to go do new things because you learn new tricks on the way. You know what I mean? Like, I learned new tricks on the way with dealing with this. And I'm trying to share you all the stuff that I've learned. I think that we can all get better. I think that if we learn to accept ourselves and love ourselves, we won't try to find love in the wrong places. And this doesn't go for women alone. This goes for my men and my women and my people. Okay, my queens, kings, and royals in betweens. All of you guys. All right? Because when you don't love yourself, okay, just like hear me out, because I've done this so many times. I have found love in all the wrong places, because I thought that if I found somebody that was kind to me and that showed me a hint of affection, that they would make me happy, right? And it took me freaking years, man, like 16, 15 freaking years to understand that if I don't love myself, if I don't know what I want for myself, okay, if I don't find the people that match my energy, the people that vibe with my tribe, I'm going to be with the wrong people. We are taught, like a lot of us, okay, because I'm a 90s kid. So I'm a millennial. And when I was a kid, I think they taught us wrong. I'm going to be honest. They said, like, if a guy or a lady picks on you, that means they really like you. So now we're out here falling in love with people that beat us, that mistreat us, that talk down to us, that physically and emotionally and mentally abuse us, because we believe that that's just some way of them loving us, right? I want y'all to understand, a whole generation, not even just the millennials, probably the Gen X too, like the older generations, okay? And even some of them that are in the 2000s, right? The newer generation as well. We are all taught that, if they love you, this is how they act. Or you can find your Prince Charming or your princess and a right horse riding into the sunset. And I'm like, I'm approaching my 30s, guys, this September. I'm a Virgo. For those of you guys who want to know, I know it's all about me, but I It took me a long time, man. It took me like to 25 or 26 to finally understand that, like, one, relationships are hard. Two, if I don't learn to love myself, I'm not going to make it with a partner. With a partner, I had a split thought. I combine two ideas sometimes because, like, I have a little bit of ADHD too, so my mind works really fast. I'm smart, but it's kind of like on all sorts of levels. It doesn't always stay still. Anywho, that's a different story for a different time. My point is that when we're trying to love ourselves, right? Because that's what I'm trying to do for you guys. I want y'all to learn to love yourself so that way you don't find it in the wrong places. A lot of us were taught that finding relationships, we were taught to find relationships in the wrong way, man. Okay, we were taught to go over there and try to change people. We were taught that, well, if she yells at you, she screams at you, she hits you, that's because she likes you. She just doesn't know how to express her feelings. If he hits you and if he yells at you and if he's assaulting you, you know, well, he's stronger than you are. So you have to go over there and do what he says. Fathers and mothers can't abuse their children. I'm sure they'll abuse other children, but they can never abuse their own. Or narcissists. They don't have control on their actions. They're the real victims here. I'm going to tell you guys this right here and right now. I have dealt with narcissists. I have. I've dealt with abusive relationships on myself. I have. I've been through my own little pile of shit. I have. And through going through that pile of shit, I have learned that the abuser is not the victim, all right? And this is what I'm going to say, okay? When it comes to narcissistic people, there are a majority of narcissistic people, okay? There is a majority of them that are full of shit. They choose to go there, play the victim because they refuse to take action and accountability of what they're doing is wrong. And there are some, okay? There are some people who are diagnosed as narcissists that try their best to be compassionate, that try to understand how other people feel about things and put forth effort to not use and abuse other people, but just to try to be more empathetic. That is something that is very hard for them to do because it's something that they don't have. They don't possess that ability. Okay? It's kind of like, I won't say that ADHD and narcissism is the same, all right? It is a like behavior disorder in a way, but like that would be like me being absolutely calm and not have 1,000 things rushing in my mind and being able to focus on one thing at a time when I need to focus on it and not when it piques my interest at random moments. You know what I mean? I make effort to try to be a little bit more steady with my way of thinking. I also learn how to embrace the way that my brain operates so that way I can get things done. Some people who have narcissism actually do the effort. They know that they don't have this, but they try. I can be with anybody that actually puts forth effort and genuinely tries versus other people going over there, well, I'm a narcissist, so I'm the victim here. If you didn't do this, I wouldn't have done that. Like, look here. All of us have gone through our own hell. All of us have been through trauma and abuse and neglect and all sorts of shitty things have happened to our lives. We are not the only ones, okay? Like, I'm not the only one that's been through all this. You're not the only one that's been through all this. And going over there pretending that you're something that you're not, bro. Like, here's the thing. I'm empathetic by nature. I do have empathy. I do have compassion and I do care. But I don't have patience with people not learning how to grow, not doing the proper work to get into a better headspace, and deciding to play the victim. Whether it's a lady trying to play the victim and not take responsibility of her actions, or if it's a guy, or if it's a person. Okay, and when I say person, I mean people who either are underneath like the non-binary umbrella, or like gender queer, gender fluid, and things of that nature. That being said, we're also going to be talking about, like at least on this channel, okay? Because on TikTok and Instagram, I feel like I'm kind of like, I want to talk about a lot of things, but because I follow a majority of people where some things that we talk about are kind of against the law, okay? And it's nothing like illegal or whatever, but like sexuality, religion, okay, politics. These are very delicate and touchy subjects. I think if you're crazy enough, you'll touch all of them. Like, when they say don't push a button, right? Don't go over there and push that red button. Those are like the holy trinities of red buttons, man. People are going to be mad about you talking about sexuality and what it is. Okay. We're going to talk about it. Religion. There's different styles of belief, and you're entitled to believe what you want to believe. Me personally, I believe in the universe. I know that God is real. Okay. I do. I am more of a spiritual believer. Okay. I believe that all of us are connected, all of us are in one, and at the same time, we are a part of the universe and we are our own universe living within itself. Okay. That's just where I'm at. I am okay if you're a Christian or if you're Buddhist or if you're Hindu or if you are a pagan or a Wiccan or you believe in different gods and goddesses. That is fine. Okay. We will probably talk about different beliefs and different styles and things. We'll tap onto it, as well as, different styles of political viewpoints. What does this have to do with our mind, body, and soul? It does. You guys be surprised how wide this web can connect, man. Okay? How wide the roots can connect to other trees and other plants. The reason why I say this is because when it comes to belief in religion, it gives us faith. It gives us hope. It gives us structure, and it gives us something to stand on. Some people tie deeply into their faith. Some people are tying deeply into their faith, but they are understanding and open-minded to other styles and beliefs. Like, look, I'm not really for this type of belief, but I respect you that you believe this way, and that is your religion, and that is your core, okay? We talk about a lot. On YouTube, I'm going to talk about a bunch of things, as well as, we're going to have dark minds and butterflies. This is going to be a long-ass video. I'm sorry for you guys. You're going to be kind of sticking in about all these things. At least, I warned you guys ahead of time. If you guys follow and subscribe, there's going to be a lot of videos, okay? Videos about reading cards, which I'm going to be doing general readings very soon. Yes, I did put down that we do Spanish videos. I am writing down all the readings so that way I can do them for you guys. I'm focusing on the April readings right now, where I do monthly readings about what each month has in store for you. Okay. Again, through playing cards, because that is what I read from. As well as we are going to be doing, I'm going to be doing translations for glaucoma, for physical and emotional disabilities, how to handle toxic relationships, how to meditate and heal ourselves, different spiritual practices, and much more. Okay. So it's coming. I'm just trying to get all the translations out of the way, so that way I can be able to get the video done correctly. I know that I could do AI, but I like to do translations on my own. I think for AI, I'll have to do it for Luganda and possibly Sudanese, because I'm going to be doing other videos in different languages in the future. Anyways, talking about the future, we are going to be having podcasts, okay? I'm probably going to go over there and just do my podcast on YouTube and figure out how to do it on Spotify, because I know on Spotify you can do it, but I don't know how to go about it. I'm kind of just learning as I go along, I'm mainly just a self-taught person that's trying to figure out how to get everything done and do it like in the most, not classy, right? Not something like, oh la la, but something kind of just, it's decent, it works, and it has a little bit of my personality in it. I want to make it a little bit original. Anywho, Dark Minds and Butterflies, right? Let's get into it. Dark Minds and Butterflies is going to be all about our thoughts. It's going to be about conspiracy theories and possibly about quantum physics. I need to find people who are interested in that, because originally Dark Minds and Butterflies was going to be an anime, okay? Back in the day when I was like let's just go like 10 years ago. Okay, so yeah, I'm getting freaking old, man. 10 years ago when I was 19, I used to love drawing. Okay, I used to love drawing anime because I'm a nerd and I really don't care. And I thought about being an animator. Okay, I thought it would be so cool that they put their visions into a piece of paper and make it real. Like these characters come to life because it all came from their mind, you know? And it was going to be like a dark thriller psychological anime. And it was going to talk about jumping into parallel universes and different things, so forth and so on. But as all dreams come to an end, I had to kind of pick different ways. I couldn't really pursue that, so I pursued something else. Anywho, I figured since it's not going to be an anime, probably in the near future it might be. I might make Dark Minds Butterflies into actual anime and it'll also be a podcast. Anyways, it's going to be more of just a podcast about our thoughts, about the good, the bad, the ugly, different topics, talking about how we feel about ranges of things, okay? We're also going to have Raging Rhythm, Rhythm and Rhyme, where we kind of vent and make it into poetry, all right? As well as a few other things that I'm thinking about. I'm trying to get the introductions and things set up, and I'm trying to figure out how to go about it and squeeze it in with my schedule since I'm not very consistent with my videos, which I guess we can now transition into scheduling, right? When will I be posting my videos? How long will you guys have to wait for new videos to come? Yeah, I got like 500 and something videos right now, right? So that should kind of tie you guys over for a little bit, but I'm trying to find a way to do it consistently, okay? Here's the thing. Sometimes I'm in Africa, okay? And sometimes I'm in the US. I have family in Africa that I like to visit. And of course, I have family in the US that I like to visit and my friends. So between the different time zones and trying to figure out when I have time that's quiet enough for me to do my videos and things, it'll most likely be late at night, early in the morning, okay? Sometimes, like today, I can do it in the morning and afternoon and get them all out of the way. I'm happy that I can do lives now because I don't think you guys have to wait for the video to like upload too long versus me going over there and doing it on my camera on my phone and waiting 2 or 3 days. I understand now doing YouTube, bro. Like I understand doing YouTube now where a majority of the content creators are coming from, man. I'm like, yo, it's one thing to edit your videos, which I have not yet begun to do. So that's going to be kind of cool. And I figured that whole thing out. Yes, I could ask for help. And I've tried, but like, I don't understand how people, like, I don't understand what they're trying to tell me to do. So I may have to ask my siblings, which for those of you guys who don't know, I got like, together there's 5 of us. Okay, I have an older sister. I'm the oldest on my mom. And then I got like 3 younger siblings other than that. So yeah, a few more. I think we could have a soccer team, you know? So kind of cool. Anyways, I do a lot of jokes. I mean, I don't know if my jokes are funny. I'm sure like when I'm being honest and truthful, the honesty itself is kind of humorous because things have gotten crazy, man. And the things that come out of my mouth are honest. Okay, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I try. But like we live in a crazy world. I think we're so done with everything that nothing can surprise us anymore. You've hit the panic button so many times that like a majority of us are just going to be like, okay, well, that happened. Cool. Anywho, with our podcasts and things, I'm most likely going to be doing them on YouTube. And I want to be able to have you guys like join in, you know? And I think I can. I think it'll kind of look like more of like a Zoom conference because like in the near future, hopefully, right? In the future, I'll actually have you guys like come over, we'll set it up. It'll be like face to face and also kind of something that is projected out for the world to see if that's what you guys are comfortable with, and much more. So yeah, for timing and things, it's really just whenever I have time and when I have energy. So when it comes to me reading cards, okay, we are going to talk about clear senses, and clear senses are really important for you guys to know because it's how your instincts tell you when things are up. Okay, and it's also how you can be able to tap into your divination, which is the ability to predict the future, the past, the present, and oncoming or ongoing or things that have happened. All right, I know, same thing, different wording. So when I'm reading cards, okay, when I'm reading my cards to you guys, I'm reading the energy, I'm seeing how it's playing out, and I'm getting a message from the universe to tell me how all this is going. All right. We do general readings. General readings are readings that I'm going to be doing that's talking about the now. All right. What's going on right now with you guys. So, for example, if Aries was dealing with something with new ideas, because I did y'all's reading yesterday, but I didn't post it. So, we're going to be doing that after this. Okay. I know we're heading into 30 minutes. It's taking a long time. I promise you guys I'm rushing it. Okay. I'm going to hurry up a little. It won't take a whole hour. It'll be close to it though. Anyways, when I'm reading cards, I'm reading what the energy is saying. I'm reading how it's playing out, what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, what I'm sensing, and much more. This is really cool because I'm going by my clear senses, all right? Which is going to be part of our witchy videos and things that we will be doing. I'm going to be reading you guys about my books that I have. They're really good for beginners. And just kind of telling you guys what witches are. Here's the thing, all right? And I'm just going to tap onto it lightly. Witchcraft is not a religion. We are not the holy trinity of witchcraft, okay? We're not the witches of divine entity, okay? Now, I mean, I don't know if there's a coven or, a place that's named that. I'm not trying to like poke fun, make names. I'm not doing that at all. But through spirituality, it helps us. Okay. Some people do witchcraft because it helps us heal. For me, it helped me heal a lot of things. It helped me grow. And I just kind of feel like it chose me and I chose it. Okay. A lot of times people choose to be witches. Now, are witches only men and women and people? No. Witches are not ladies dressed in black, flying on broomsticks, casting like fireballs and epic potion spells. Witches are their own individual, whoever he, she, or they may be. All right. Witch is a non-gender term. It can be for anybody. Okay. How old should you be when you're doing witchcraft? It really just depends on you because some of us are born with spiritual people or witches or, practitioners or Wiccans or pagans in our family, and they teach us things that have been passed down from the family, and they start off when you're young or when you're old or when you're at the right time. Some of us, have children of our own, and we're teaching them the craft as they're growing and choosing what they're ready for depending on their age. Some of us wait till we're older. I mean, I really didn't start till I was like 22, and I really didn't take it heavy until I was like 24, and I'm 29 now. So it's been about like 5 or so years of me just figuring it out, going with things that work for me. And different people connect with different types of energies, okay? Which we'll go into again a lot more later on. But a majority of us go through it because we feel connected. I felt connected to magic. I felt connected to spirituality. I feel connected doing witchcraft. Do I think I'm an evil witch? I don't really think there's such things as evil witches, man. I think that magic in itself is neutral. It can be for evil and it can be for good and it can be for, depending on what it is. When it comes to hexes and curses, I say do what you will, man. Some people, like, here's the thing. You do the right way, right? You report the assault. You talk to the person saying, don't do that again. You have told them many times that what they're doing is harming you. They come after your family. They come after you. The system doesn't system anymore. And so sometimes you got to take matters into your own hands. This is where I'm coming on when it comes to hexes and curses, okay? Because I know somebody gonna get their knitter botters in a bunch. And I said knitter botters, underwear, undergarments, all right? Your underwear and a bind. Do what you will. Some people deserve to be humbled. Do what you will, okay? Do what you feel is right. Because sometimes you got to be the karma, okay? You got to be the justice to put people in place because people need to be humbled. I said what I said, I meant it. Anyways, when it comes to that, do what you want, okay? I'm sure y'all have tried your best. You have taken the high road and now it's time to, give the universe a bit of a help, ease it into the right direction, put people into a jar, make a doll out of them if you got to. I'm not going over there saying like, don't do it. I'm saying do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Just make sure you know what you're doing. Okay, don't go over there and not know what you're doing and try to do a hex. Do it accordingly. Okay, go through it the right way because you may end up hexing yourself and the person. Okay, you don't want to have all that onto you. You want it onto them. Do it accordingly. Do it the right way. Now, if you're confident in your skill and you know what you're doing, have a little fun with it. I'm all about creativity. Anyways, we talked about schedules. We talked about magic and things, card readings and what. I guess a little bit about myself. Firstly, as you guys know by now, I'm 29. My birthday's in September, so I'm a Virgo. My favorite color, other than, I think it's silly because I love all colors, but my favorite color is green, gray, and black. I like green because it's nature, black because of the night, and gray because a majority of us are in the gray line. We're not entirely good, but we're not entirely evil. We're just different shades of gray. We do good things for bad reasons, and we do bad things for good reasons sometimes. I guess my religion, the universe, if that counts. My job, a witch, a healer, a guide, a teacher, a motivational speaker, a counselor. Through this business, I wear a lot of hats, okay? Sometimes I'm a comedian. Sometimes I'm a motivational speaker. Sometimes I'm an advisor and a counselor. Sometimes, I guess all times I'm a witch, okay? Now whether I'm a witch bitch, we don't know. But yeah, I use humor for a lot of things. And if you guys like that, cool. My favorite food, my nationality. I'm mixed, so I'm black and white. I know. I should just say at this point that I'm gray, because black and white mixed together does make gray, which is one of my colors. So yeah. Anywho, favorite food, that's really hard. I like sweets. I guess I'll go for that. I mean, if I had to pick my favorite sweets, I secretly like baklava. Okay? So if you know, you know. And if you don't, that's okay. It's a really sweet pastry that's made more in the Middle East. And they have it with chai, which is tea. Right? And I like candies and I like burgers and other stuff as well. Not that you guys really care about that, but little things to know. I guess that's really it. You guys will kind of learn my personality the more videos that I do and everything. So anyways, thank you guys for your time. And if you made it this far, thank you again. I know it was a lot of talking and yapping, but hopefully it wasn't too boring for you guys. Stay tuned for more. As always, slay the day, be happy and be gay. I love you guys very much, and I hope that you have an amazing day. Peace out. Bye.